Welcome back. I'm Casey Campbell with Great Lakes Post, as well as can be heard on WJR 760 in Detroit. Pleased to be joined by Richmond Raceway track president Dennis Bickmeier, getting prepared for the weekend at the Richmond Raceway coming up in a few weeks. How's it going, Dennis?
It's going great. Thank you. Busy. It takes a lot to get ready for these NASCAR weekends, but just so excited that we're on the doorstep of welcoming back a lot of NASCAR fans here to Richmond Raceway.
Yeah, there, of course, knowing that you didn't get a chance to host fans last year at this race, you did at a capacity, I think it was 30% capacity back in April. But now you're going to be hosting at full capacity. How is that to welcome back all the fans on coming back for a very special weekend as for the second race of the playoffs?
Well, hopefully you can tell by the smile on my face that we're really excited about that. Yeah. But yeah, it was great to have fans back, albeit in a limited capacity in April. We were able to take care of a lot of our season ticket holders, not all of our campers, which, the camping experience here and at NASCAR races around the country, it's like nothing you've ever seen. And the camping is such a great community. So it'd be great to have all of our campers back, because camping is sold out for our September 10th and 11th weekend. But it's just really exciting to have fans back. I think people really want to get out and enjoy the racing, and for us, it's pretty unique because we have two races in one day on September 11th. So excited about that opportunity as well for our race fans.
Yeah, kind of talk about the race weekend. Of course, Friday night with the Xfinity Series, and then Saturday with the Cup Series and that.
Yeah, actually, that's a bit of a change for us on the schedule. So the Xfinity Series race, which typically had been on Friday night, is actually moving to Saturday afternoon. So we get a doubleheader on Saturday. So we have the Go Bowling 250 is Saturday with a start time of 2:30, and then we've got about 90 minutes in between to get ready for the Federated Auto Parts 400 Cup Series race, which is playoff race number 2. So with the Xfinity Series race moving to Saturday, what we did was it opened up an opportunity to bring the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour back to Richmond after many, many, many years. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have those guys back on the track. So we actually have 3 races in 2 days, but that doubleheader on Saturday is pretty unique for us to have Xfinity Cup doubleheader. There's so much going on. It is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, so we've got a lot that we're putting into honoring and remembering that day. It's kind of the culmination of us celebrating our 75th anniversary of Richmond Raceway. It's a playoff weekend. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here that weekend.
Yeah, of course. You mentioned it. I was going to actually get into that. The 20th anniversary of September 11th. I know that this track has hosted races on that day, of course, 1 year after, and I think maybe 3 or 4 years after. So this is not new for you guys to host on that day. But knowing that it's been 20 years after 9/11, how special is that for you? And kind of opening up, what do you remember from that day?
Yeah, it's I was actually working at what is now Auto Club Speedway, so California Speedway, when I was working there in the early 2000s, and obviously we were 3 hours behind everything that was happening in New York. So we woke up to it, and just I just remember just kind of just trying to figure it all out, like what just happened, and we went into work, and it was the quietest office I've ever heard. And some people opted to stay home, and probably I think by like noon, just no one wanted to be there. And I remember shutting down the office and just kind of going home. And I think we all just kind of, just hoped and prayed, and, for those that were lost that day, and, and then sports helped show the way back, I think. And I think we're seeing some of that as we come out of COVID as well, that sports has a way of healing and unifying, I think, is the other way to look at it. So that being said, I think, as you mentioned, our September race has always been kind of around 9/11. So we've always had that kind of honor and remember mentality around the race day. But now to be on that day, 20 years later, it is that significance is not lost on us. It's not lost on our industry. And I think what you're going to see Casey, is an entire industry come together to honor and remember that day. And you know, our NASCAR events are always very patriotic. I think we're just going to turn it up times 100 on Saturday, September 11th, to make sure that we remember those that we lost that day, and then show our appreciation for our military and our first responders.
Oh, of course. Also, I know that's big and significant. What other things do you have planned that weekend?
Well, I think the other thing too, though, is with everything I just said about 9/11, you know, we have to strike the right balance between, again, honoring and remembering that day, but also remembering that our fans are here to watch racing and to have a good time. And I think we can make sure that we blend those really well together to have the right balance. So, you know, with that comes, we will have music and entertainment through our midway. It's going to be great to see so many of our partners back activating as well. That's another big part of our race events, is that a lot of our sponsors bring display, and they have interactive opportunities for fans to win prizes and things like that. And so I like that. I think the other big thing for us is that our infield will be open. We did a $30 million renovation a few years ago that we cut the ribbon on September 2018, and we've only been able to use it 3 times since we made that renovation. So it's a really unique space that really allows fans to get up close with the sport. And again, we know we got to continue to do that in a very safe manner with our drivers and the competitors and all the teams and everything. But just to have some activity down in that infield, I think is going to be a big plus for the weekend as well.
Yeah. I know that, of course, you know, Richmond Raceway, of course, in the Xfinity race, Dale Jr. will be racing in that. How exciting is that to have him, you know, back racing at your track?
It's great. Yeah. And I ran down that whole list of things that we have going that weekend, and how could I forget that one? So thank you for reminding me that. I don't want to upset Dale and miss that one. It is a big deal for us as a racetrack, but certainly for the fans here and for the Dale Jr. fans. So I'm excited that he's coming out of the booth, and he loves our racetrack, which is a plus. So that's great. And you know, I think him racing in the afternoon and that being a doubleheader leading into the Cup Series race, I think just strikes a really good tone for the day overall. So I think we're going to see a pretty big Xfinity crowd come in, because that's what's great about that 2 races, 1 ticket. And that ticket is the same price you would pay for a Cup race. It's not like we increased the price any. You're getting the Xfinity race as a bonus. You're getting Dale Jr. in that race as an even bigger bonus. So I think you'll see a lot of people go in, watch that Xfinity Series race, either hang out and get ready for the Cup race, or go back out to tailgate a little bit and go back out and visit our partners in the midway, and then come back in for the Cup race.
Well, of course. And then also you have a lot of the other things. What can fans expect when they go in there? Just normal things. Of course, we've seen seeing with stands and coolers and cashless transactions and all that. What can people expect in that when they
yeah again, coolers are permitted, which is great. I think that's a great fan amenity for our fans here. We are doing as much cashless as possible, digital tickets. We are doing, you know, digital parking passes. And parking passes, just like your tickets, can be printed at home. So that I know a lot of people like me, I'm still old school. I like to have that piece of paper in my hand. So, so you know, and so we still give our fans those options. But yeah, I think that you know, I think our fans will see the facility clean, ready to go for them, ready to welcome them back. There'll be a lot of entertainment, a couple of flyovers. I mean, on and on and on. All those things that come with the pageantry of hosting these big NASCAR events. It's just, you know, you see the pageantry that they put on at the Super Bowl, but that's one big game a year. We do this 36 times a year. So that's what's fun about our sport.
Of course. And yeah, it'll be a fun weekend, the September 10th and 11th at Richmond Raceway for sure. Dennis Bickmeier, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Good, and have fun next weekend at the Richmond Raceway. Should be a fun night.
Yeah, thank you. And for those that can't make it over here, make sure you tune in and watch some great racing action from what we call America's premier short track right here.
All right.